6.5 Depeche Mode with I Feel You. 7:12 in the morning, AC sitting in for Axl. And Julie, do you know about our volleyball game this Saturday?
I do. Yes, I'm playing on Axl's team.
Oh, so you're already against me, huh?
Yes.
Okay, well, I figured that because Stephanie is on Brad's team. So
right.
Are you going to actually play, or are you just going to be a co-captain?
I don't know. Are you playing?
Yeah, I'll play.
I guess.
All right.
I don't know if they'll want me.
Well, that's cool.
We'll find out.
I've got a team name, the Cosmic Creeps.
The Cosmic Creeps.
Does Axl have a team name yet?
Yeah, I think we named him the Slap Leathers.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
He's into that jamboree stuff.
It's a country dance, don't you know?
And Julie, guess what?
What?
I have the lineup right now for Lollapalooza.
You do?
Yeah, are you stoked?
Tell me.
Well,
come on.
To kick off the day, it's Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
And then Babes in Toyland. Then Tool, and then Front 242.
I don't know them.
That's where it takes a strange turn because it gets real techno. And then after that, Arrested Development.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they started out as the headliner, but somehow they got bumped down to fifth.
Oh, well, that's okay.
And then Fishbone.
Really?
And then Dinosaur Jr., and then the one who's actually sold the most records of all of them, who's not the headliner after all, it's Alice in Chains.
Oh, yeah.
Followed by Primus, who are on the rise.
Wow.
So that's the lineup. So
sounds good.
Are you planning on going this summer to Lollapalooza?
Yeah, you know, I've never gone to one.
Well, it's about time.
I think I better.
Yeah, I think you'll have lots of fun.
Sounds like a good lineup.
KWOD 106.5 In Excess with Beautiful Girl. Before that, The Cure with Fascination Street. And right now, some Gene Loves Jezebel with Desire. And don't forget, tonight at 9 o'clock, Nick Munroe unleashes the music of the future with Airborne. Lots of new releases, so check that out tonight.
Keep listening because starting very, very, very soon, we're going to be giving you a trip for two to the UK, to London, England, to see one of the world's biggest rock bands. That's coming up from KWOD 106.5. Also, Gathering of the Vibes. We've got tons of tickets. In fact, right now, I'll give out some tickets to call us 16 at 929-1065. The winning continues, and now into a quad block from REM.
KWOD 106.5, that's She's a Girl and I'm a Man from Lloyd Cole. I'm AC, and with me on the line right now, an old school friend from high school, Jane Sibbett. How you doing, Jane?
I'm doing great. How you doing, AC?
Real good, man. And it's been so long. I mean, the last time I saw you was probably graduation day. Should I say what year?
Go ahead. It's all right.
All right.
I can handle it.
Rio Americano high school class of 1980.
Yes.
But that was so fun. And how was I to know at that time that you would end up on a very popular TV series called Herman's Head?
I don't know. Go figure. I had no idea I'd end up there either.
You know what? We were in the same radio class together. The school
That's right.
had
Chuck Gebhardt.
That's right. You remember Chuck?
Oh, you bet. Everyone had a crush on Chuck Gebhardt.
but you went to UCLA, huh?
Yes, I did.
And then what?
And then I got really, really lucky and started working pretty much right away and doing little bits here and there and
doing plays and stuff.
TV series and things like that. And then I got Herman's Head a few years ago.
Well, that's pretty. Were you excited about that? I mean, that must have blown you away.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to be working actor because there are a lot of talented people down here.
Right.
And equally, if not more talented than I, and so you feel very, very fortunate when you get a job like that.
What before you got the role, what was your initial reaction about the show? Because it's kind of, outside the norm,
Yeah, actually, I said, these people have ripped me off. It was my idea. There's a simultaneous thought, and I had actually come up with a concept like this years ago.
Wow.
That someone had said you should develop this into a series. So I was actually very excited that someone was doing something like that. I mean, we all have these little people in our heads, and it's really kind of fun to see them act out in front of our eyes.
So do you get to know the writers of the show? I mean, do you...
Actually, I got to know one very intimately, and now he's my husband.
Oh, that's convenient.
That was pretty intimate.
So you must have some input on the show then.
Well, I used to, of course, say, this joke sucks and that kind of stuff. But my husband now has left the show now, so now I have no input like that. I mean, I can still say that, but no, I had no more input than anybody else did. He bent over backwards, as you may have noticed last season, not to feature me in anything because, I was the wife of one of the writers and producers, so I didn't have a lot going on last year. But I was also recovering from having a baby. So
that's right. So you have a family now.
I do. I have a little girl. She just turned 1 this week.
Do you think that will have any effect on your career?
Actually, it just makes me very grateful for the work that I have. You know, it's the only effect it's really having right now is that I won't do anything. You know, now I pick and choose more carefully. And I'm certainly not going to let her watch Herman's Head. Not only until she's at least 18, you know?
I think it's educational.
It's very educational, but of the sexual nature, I would think that mostly Mommy is doing very sexual things most of the time, and I think Ruby can wait a little while to find out about those things.
Okay. Hey, was Hollywood what you thought it would be?
Oh, you know, I had no idea what it was going to be like moving down to Los Angeles, to tell you the truth, and it's a whole other world.
How do you get along with Herman in real life?
I adore Billy. Billy Ragsdale is fabulous to work with. He is so talented, and that's one of the things you look forward to most when you go back to work is hanging out with this gang of people that are so funny. I mean, really, they're you know, these people are in real life are even funnier than the show, if you can believe.
Really? Then you should
really great gang.
You should have the cameras there when you guys are just sitting around, you know, hanging out.
Yeah, we should. You know, that's actually something that they'd like to do more, is just get a little more off the cuff stuff. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. So this show's going to continue next season.
Yes, we start back to work in July for a whole new season, for our 3rd season.
And how many episodes do you tape for that?
In a year, we tape 25 episodes. And so we'll be hitting our 75th episode by the end of this season.
Okay, so
we're moving on to Thursday nights, though. I don't know if you knew this.
I didn't know that.
Big news: Thursday nights at 9:30.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be doing that on Thursday night then, watching it.
Great.
It's one of the few shows I watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just because we went to school together?
I think so.
Now, come on, AC, you have to say. You love this show.
I love the show.
Uh-huh.
I love some other shows too. I mean, The Simpsons, they're all right, but I don't know. I've burned out on TV. I like radio.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm a big radio fan myself. And every time I'm in Sacramento, I listen to your show.
Oh, thanks. Great. So are you coming back soon?
I come back and forth.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be living there anytime soon. It's kind of hard to commute. And
That's
all
true.
That. I come and visit. My mom still lives up there.
Okay, great. And do you have any plans in making movies or anything in the future?
Not this year. I don't have any plans. I have been auditioning a little bit, but you know, with baby, it is harder to get out. I mean, that is one of the effects of my career too. It's a little more difficult, and I have to wrangle up a babysitter to go out on auditions. But certainly, I'd like to be doing some film work.
Okay. Well, Jane, I appreciate you calling in today. I hope we get to talk again soon.
I hope so too, AC. Thanks so much.
Okay, Jane Sibbett from Herman's Head. Thanks for joining us. As we continue with the music, here's Tears for Fears. Break It Down again on KWOD 106.5. KWOD 106.5, who's this?
Hello, this is Ernie.
Ernie, what would you like to ask the Sundays?
First of all, I just want to say that I love your music, and Harriet, you have a great voice.
Well, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you have a great name as well, actually.
You're phenomenal to listen to. Anyway, I have 2 questions. One, where do you come up with the lyrics for your songs? I mean, are they about your, experiences in life, or?
I think indirectly. I think we'd have to say in an indirect way, because
it's not sort of autobiographical. We're not sort of sitting around trying to sort of just write down exactly what happened to us in the earlier part of our life or anything. But obviously, anything you choose to write, it's going to come from feelings you've had and experiences you've had, even if you don't necessarily represent them, exactly as they happen. So you sort of, you steal from them, but you probably adapt them as well.
Right.
And you invent a few of your own.
Okay, and the second question I have is kind of bold. It's my girlfriend's like one of your biggest fans, and it's our 6-month anniversary today.
Well, congratulations.
She would just love it if we could get backstage passes. I don't know if you can swing that or not.
Joel, what would you like to see? Make deals over the radio.
Listen, it normally takes a bit more than 6 months for that, really. You're newlyweds.
We normally stipulate at least a year or 2.
Oh.
But, I don't know.
Well, Ernie, we'll put you on hold and we'll talk with you, okay?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
That's
There's a lot of people on hold here.
KWOD 106.5, who's this?
You guys sound a lot like the Cocteau Twins. Not that that isn't good. Especially the guitar on that last song, I feel. And
really?
I was also wondering, did they influence you, and what other bands have had an impact on the way you write?
That's funny. I haven't heard that actually.
No.
Don't hear that. Don't hear that personally. They are a band that we've liked and listened to in the past. But along with, are you getting reverb here? I'm hearing the most fantastic reverb on our voices. We listen to all sorts of stuff. I think people sort of imagine that, especially if you're in a band in the sort of rack business, that you sit at home listening to firstly your own music, which we don't at all after it's finished, and secondly all the other bands who are current and around at the moment, the minute that their stuff is released. Maybe call us old-fashioned, maybe we're old fogies, but we listen to other stuff as well, and we listen to jazz and classical music and Indian music and Chinese music, and I think lots of elements of stuff that we really like goes in and gets sort of swooshed around and probably comes out in some sense in our music as well. But I certainly wouldn't say, we like the Velvet Underground, so we want to. We definitely try and copy them, or we like the Cocteau Twins, which we do, but we don't try and emulate people that we like. Anything to add, Dave?
I don't think. I think that was beautifully expressed. I think that said it all.
I also wanted to know if you played anything, Harriet. Play as an instrument.
No, I've got a very simple answer to that, which is no, I can't play anything whatsoever, and I'm very bad at learning things. I get in a terrible temper.
But you have a great voice to make up for it.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. Cheers. Dave taught me to drive. That was the only thing I've ever learned properly, I think.
Okay, thanks for calling. We'll talk with Harriet and David again after this song. I usually get a really good feeling listening to all your songs. It has a really nice, positive vibe to it. Even if the lyrics are sad, like for this next song, would you say the lyrics are sad to goodbye?
Well, they're kind of sort of, they're touching on things that are depressing, but I think in a kind of positive, let's clear everything out the closet way. So, I think
dealing with sadness, but there's a bit of an up in there as well. Hopefully,
absolutely.
It's not a wrist slasher.
It makes me feel so good about saying goodbye.
Quite right, as it should do.
But stick around. More questions for the Sundays. Right now, goodbye on KWOD 106.5.
KWOD 106.5, it's Jane's Addiction, and Jane Says. Well, as you probably know, Oingo Boingo are in concert tonight, tomorrow night, and on Sunday night down at the Warfield Theater in San Francisco. AC was talking earlier. We're going to have a special surprise for you this afternoon. Well, here it is on the telephone with me right now. It's Danny Elfman. Hello, Danny.
Hello.
So, 3 shows here. Kind of surprised everybody. You guys have been kind of dormant for a while, at least around this area. I know you played, I believe it was about a year ago, down at Great America. I knew some people that went down to check out that show.
We went into hibernation, frozen in individual units until about a month ago when we were released again.
But of course,
tend to do.
Yeah, I know you've been real busy. Everybody knows you do a lot of soundtrack work, and I'm sure that keeps you busy apart from the band.
Oh, a little bit here and there.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah, do you prefer doing one or the other more than one or the other, the soundtrack or the album work, or?
Well, whichever one I'm doing, I like doing that one more.
At that time, I guess, yeah.
And then by the time I've been doing it for a certain period of time, then I like doing the other one seems appealing, mainly because if I'm scoring a film, it's always really fun in the beginning, but at the end, when after months of really, really hard work, the idea of doing songs and getting up on stage is really appealing because it's so much more fun.
Now, you kind of did a little bit of both on the Batman Returns thing, because I know you co-wrote part of the Susie and the Banshees song.
Yeah.
So you got to do the film and a song as well. And you could really hear your influence in that song as well. I could tell the first time I listened to it. But what does it take to do? When you score a film like that, I was always kind of interested in this. Do they give you the final product of the film, or do they give it to you piece by piece, and you go through and work on it like that?
Well, it's somewhere in between. Generally, you see what's called a rough cut of the film. And the rough cut may be quite a bit longer than what will actually come out. And I'll start working up all my musical ideas to that rough cut, and I'll sit down with the director and go over the stuff. And then at a certain point, they've edited and edited and edited, and they said, okay, we think we've got it about where we want it. And at that point, I start actually writing out each cue one at a time. And in a film like Batman Returns, there's maybe 45 or 50 different musical cues.